Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Srinivasa Biology Tutorial. In this section to discuss NCERT class 12, the first chapter, the sexual reproduction flowering plants, part 1, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Are we now the lucky that the plants reproduce sexually? The mate breeds the flower that we enjoy the grazing at the scents and the attracts us. So most of the flowers to get help for as to get attracts because they having as what nectars here, and here this the scents and their perfumes that they are soon over the rich color that they attracts, it is all there and add the sexual reproduction. So most of the flowers to get attracted for as that all organisms, all insects for that in a pollination. The flowers do not exist only for as in a use for their own their selfishness. Here, all flowering plants show as in a sexual reproduction. Almost the flowering plants are they showing as what? Sexual reproduction means to get participate in a reproduction. Look at this. The diversity of structure of the inflorescence, flowers and floral parts show as an amazing range of the adaptations into the formation of the products of sexual reproduction. So the number of the process in that the participate as in the reproduction to copulation of the gametes to get producing as what? Products. And what are the products like as in fruits and then seeds like. Now what is this chapter? This chapter is let us understand the morphology, structure and the process of the sexual reproduction in the flowering plants in the angiosperms. So in this total chapter to get explained about as in that how to they get completely the reproduction was takes place. It is completely there explained. Now let us to discuss the flower as a fascinating organ of angiosperms. Flower and fascinating organ of angiosperms. The human beings have had the indeed the relationship with as in a flower since there is a immoral. The flowers are objective, the aesthetic, ornamental, social, religious, and their cultural value. They have always used in a symbols for conveying the important human being feelings such as in a love, affection, happiness, and the grief and mourning, etc. So these flowers they are showing as in different characters also. Means like as in love, affections, and their happiness, grief, and mourning. This all this expressed as in that enter the flowers. Let us the list few flowers in a ornamental value that in a commonly cultivated at. So the number of flowers we get using as in the cultivated. See they given as in one particular flower. It is an angiospermic flower. In this angiospermic flower, it contains as what? It contains as in that ovary, sepals, and these are the filament, petals, and anthers and style. These all characters we noticed on the flower. Here, next in that hormones, here mostly here homes and then gardens we see as in the number of flowers. Yes, the find out the name of the 5 flowers that are used in the social and cultural celebrations for your the family. So when you observe as in a naturally the different kinds of the flowers, in that flowers how to get used, you see you selected as in any 5 flowers. You there here the floriculture. What does refers to? So what is the floriculture? To get the development of the flowers in one particular area, that is called what? Floriculture. Now to the biologists, the flowers are the morphological and the embryological, their miracles and their site of the sexual reproduction. So in these, the flowers are participate as what? Morphologically as well as in the embryological sites of the sexual reproduction. Am I right? It is morphological, means when you see as in one particular flower, it shows as in the sepals, petals and rhizoium, gynoecium, right? Like that all the flower parts we noticed as in single flower, like when see as in one particular flower, it appears in a complete with a different the floral parts we are noticed, like as in their sepals, and then these are the petals, these are the androecium, and this is the gynoecium, like different parts will be are noticed. Well, yeah, here in your earlier the earlier classes you have the read the various parts of the flower. So when you observe as in the higher classes, read as in all parts of the flower, means the all parts, and will help you recall as in a parts of the typical flower. Can you name of the two parts of the flower which is two most important units the sexual reproduction is develops? So here the most of the two parts of the flower, what is the two parts of the flower mostly they help to as in the reproduction? It is in a, one is androecium and the one is in a gynoecium. Okay, next let us do discuss in a pre-fertilization structure and events. Next let us discuss what is in a pre-fertilization and their structures and events. See, much before actual flower you see in the plant, the decision of the plant the going as a flower is has takes place. The several hormonal structural changes as initiation which has lead to differentiation the further development of floral primordium. So mostly in the plant to get produced as in the florigin hormone, am I right? It is a florigin hormone is what is in a phytothetical hormone. In this phytothetical hormone to get plant to get released, what happened? The plant to get produced as in a beautiful flower. Here the plant to get produced as in a beautiful flower. Okay, like next the inflorescence the formed with as in a pair of the floral buds and their flowers. First to get formation of what? Floral buds will be formed, then after to get development of flowers. Next the flower, it is a male and the female reproductive structures is androecium and gynoecium. It is a differentiated and then developed. So when you take as in one particular flower, in this flower the male sex organs is the androecium and female sex organ is what? That is in a gynoecium. Male is a androecium, female is a gynoecium. You would be the recall as in that androecium consists of as in a role of the stamens representing as in a male reproductive organ and the gynoecium represent as in the female reproductive organ. Yes, it is in a male reproductive organ. It is in a completely, it is in a female reproductive organ. Okay, and let us see now study about as in the structure of stamen and microsporangium and pollen grains. Here, when you see as in one particular the anther, here first when you observe as in one particular in that stamen, here the stamen, it shows as in two typical parts. The stamen shows as in two typical part. One is in anther and one is in filament. It is in the long slender stalk-like structure is called as in a filament. So this is called as filament, and the terminal, the generally the bilobed structure is called as an anther. So this is bilobed structure. It is a one lobe. It is a one lobe. So bilobed structure is called as what? That is a anther. Now proximal end of the filament to attach as in a thalamus. It is a petal of the flower. So it is mostly they get attached in where in this total. It is to get attached here. This is, see, in this part, mostly this part to get attachment to as in the anther in a thalamus region. It is to get attached in where? In that thalamus of the plant. Sorry, flower. Okay, and next, after the number of the length of the stamens, the variable in flower different species. So different species they consist of as in different stamens as present, and you collect as in the stamen each of the 10 flowers and each the different species. So different species you collect as in different species the enter the stamens. They having a different colors. Am I right? And the arrange them in a slide. You will be able to in a the precipitate that in a large the variation size seen in the nature. So you observe under electron microscope the different variations of the in a pollen grains you can easily there notice it. Now the careful observation of each stamen. Now you observe as in this total stamens, what you collected as in the 10 stamens, you see observe carefully under electron microscope the stamen, the under the dissecting the microscope, the making as a neat label diagram in elucidate as in a range of the shape and attachment of the anther for the flower. So it is to complete to get observed as any on the flower region. It is clearly to get appear. Okay, and then here a typical angiosperm anther, it is a bilobed. The lobe having as a two thecas, that is called as a dithecous anther. So when you take as in any one particular the stamen it is an anther. Am I right? It contains as in two thecas. This condition is called as what? Dithecous anther. Okay. Here how many lobes as present? Two lobes. It is a one lobe. It is a another lobe. Next, after the longitudinal groove, the run in lengthwise in separating to the two thecas. So it is a longitudinal groove. It is to get separated as in this theca and this theca, two thecas. And let us understanding the variation types of the tissues and the organization of the innate transposition of the anther. Yeah, when you see there is any take the transposition of the any anther, it shows any different variations. See this transposition of the anther here they given. Okay, now the bilobed anther. Here the bilobed nature of the anther is in a very distinct in transposition of the anther. So here when you see as in this anther, the anther is in a four-sided the tetragonal structure consists of the four microsporangia. It is located as in a corners in the two of each lobe. So here each lobe they consist of as what two microsporangias. Total how many microsporangia is present? Four microsporangia. So it is called as in a tetrasporangiate condition. It is in a tetrasporangiate condition. Tetrasporangiate. So here completely they get given clearly. And then after the microsporangia develop further and become as a pollen sac. So here each that to get microsporangium, here it is to develop as in what number of in a pollen sacs, number of the pollen sacs to get formed, and they extend the longitudinally through the inner length of the anther. They are completely packed with as in pollen grain. So inside this complete their packing as what they're packing as in a their pollen grains. They're packing what ma they are completely they're packed with as in a that is pollen grains. Okay, now once see that in a what is the structure of the microsporangium. Now let us see that in a what is the structure of the that microsporangium. See the transverse section of typical microsporangium appear near the in a circular outlines, generally surrounded by four wall layers, that is the epidermis, endothelium, middle layers, and then tapetum layer. So when you take as any the complete the transverse section of the any anther, it shows as any four layers. It is in outermost layer is called as what? It is in a epidermis. It is in a epidermis layer, and after the outer three-layer wallets is performed as a function of the protection and help to as an adhesions of the anther to release as in a pollen grain. So it is the first layer and the second layer, and after in this third layers, in these three layers, in this the three layers to get help for as in the protection. They help as in a the protection as well as to help as in a after the adhesions of the in a enter the pollen grains, after to get dispersal to as in a outside, to dispersal to as in a they are outside. Okay, next see the innermost wall layer is called as a tapetum layer. Innermost layer is called as what? Tapetum layer. See generally a transverse section of the typical microsporangium appear as in a circular outline. When you see that as in a one particular, you see as in a any one particular microsporangium, it shows as in a different wall layers. Okay, remaining to discuss in next class. Thank you for watching. Four layers are noticed. See, outermost layer is called as the epidermis, and next to the second layer here, the second layer is that is in a endothelium layer. It is in a endothelium layer, and the third one is it is in a the middle layers. These are in a middle layers, and the last layer that is called as in a that is in a the tapetum layer. It is a nutrient layer that is in a that the tapetum layer. Okay, like next after the outer three wall layers to protection and the function to help as an adhesions of the anther to release the pollen grains. So mostly there are three layers. The three layers to help as in a protection as well as in adhesions of pollen grains. They mostly help you as in the protection as well as in adhesions of pollen grains. Next, the inner wall layers is called as a tapetum. So innermost layer is called as what? This is in a tapetum layer. It acts as a nourishment to development of the pollen grains. So it is to get help as a to development of the pollen grains. The cells of the inner tapetum possess as a dense cytoplasm, generally have more than one nucleus. So inside they having as in a more than one nucleus is present. Here mostly more than one nucleus. Here more than one nucleus is present. That condition is called as any polynucleus condition. See, they given here most of the. Can you think how tapetum cells could be? They become as any binucleated, and when the anther is young group the compactly, the arrangement of the homogeneous cells are called as in the sporogenous tissue occupies the center of the each microsporangium. So here the number of the nucleus as present here, the nucleus is binucleated condition. Sometimes it produces as in that polyploidy condition also. Polyploidy condition also they get showing. After each polling grain, it is to get developed into as in a as what in a MIMC, that is in a microsporangium mother cell. It to get formed as in the sporogenous tissue to occupy in center of the microsporangium. Next, after the microsporogenesis, the anther is developed cells as in a sporogenous tissue. So here the sporogenous tissue it is they utilize and to undergo mitotic division. So in these cells are to after to get participate in a mitotic divisions and to form as what in a completely there are 4 tetrads. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many cells? They completely get form as in a there are 4 tetrads. What would be the ploidy of the cells of the tetrads? So they complete the show as in a ploid is what in a each cell has in a haploid condition. Here each cell has in a their haploid condition.